I've got 5 different streaming devices here. One is the Xbox, which is my gaming console. The other one is an NVIDIA Shield TV, which is my favorite multimedia streaming device. I also have a second favorite, which is the Google Chromecast TV with Android TV. I also have a Android TV box, set-top box, and finally one Windows 11 computer. Now I want to connect all of them to my TV, which only has one single HDMI input. So that is a problem, but we have a solution, which is this 4K 60Hz 5-port HDMI switch, which will allow us exactly to connect up to 5 different devices simultaneously, and then with a single click of a button or even using the remote control, I will be able to have all of them connected at the same time and then display the one that I want on my TV. Welcome back to the OREI's YouTube channel. My name is George, and today with this really simple solution that will solve our issues, up to 5 different devices connected directly to our TV with one single HDMI. Now, taking a look at the package, inside we will find the 4K 60Hz 5-port HDMI switch along with this remote control, which is very useful. It also has a quick user guide and a power adapter and a USB cable. Connectivity wise, it's really simple. We just need to connect the HDMI cable that comes out of our computer, our Xbox, or any other device that we have, and then connect right over here. Now, this one here is one that you have seen in many videos, is one of my favorites. We don't connect an HDMI cable here because it already has an HDMI built in. So I just need to connect, for example, on input number 4 or any other at my choice, and then one single cable coming to my TV, and that is it regarding the connection. And now with a setup for the 4K 60Hz 5-port HDMI switch, which at this moment is connected to this display. So one single HDMI cable to the display. And then I've got 5 different devices here, all of them connected individually through each of the HDMI cables right over here. So connectivity wise, simple as this. Now at this moment I am controlling one of the devices, which is an NVIDIA Shield TV, which is right over here. So we could watch TV, we could watch a series or something like that. And if I want to change, I can just press this button right over here and I will go to source number 2. As we can see, the LED changing from 1 to 2. Now we still have an LED here saying that we have the device turned on. We also have one for auto and one for the infrared, which we will take a look in just a moment. So at this moment I did change to my source number 2, and if I want to change, in this particular case it is a Android set-top box, I could just control this particular device, but it could be any other device if I wanted to connect a DVD player, for example. So if I press once again, I will go to source number 3, and source number 3, I actually don't have an HDMI cable because it is a Google Chromecast TV and it has its own HDMI connectivity, which is directly to the device itself. And it was on sleep mode, so it didn't detect that it did change, but at this moment I am controlling the device number 3, which is right over here. As I said, I'm not using the normal HDMI cable because it is built in on this particular device, as we have seen so many others similar to this, which are limited, and sometimes we need audio extractors that we have seen here on the channel as well, but I could use it normally like I would with any other. Now if I press once again, we will go to source number 4, and on source number 4 I've got connected a Windows computer, Windows 11 in this particular case. So if I want to control my Windows computer as a multimedia computer, for example, and I can place it in on the living room so that I can install Plex server or Jellyfin or Ambi or similar, or do some homework if I want to, then I can just connect and control it with a keyboard, a mouse. At this moment it is the laptop that's right over there, but I have a mouse connected so I can control it from here. So this is my source number 4. Now source number 5, let's go and press once again. I will move my mouse right over here, and on number 5 I do have the Xbox connected. So if we want to use an Xbox, a PlayStation or any other console, we will be able to do so, and I will be able to control. So at this moment I've got devices that are enough for my play and also for my TV enjoyment or for my work with the Windows computer. So we have a lot of choices, and in this particular case, this display only has one single HDMI input. So for these case scenarios, this is great because I do have 5 different devices, and with just one single click of a button, I have, in this particular case, my desktop working just fine. Now, if we have this setup in a living room, for example, then we will have also the chance to use this remote control, which comes included with the 4K 5-port HDMI switch. And this will allow me not only to go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on, but if I want to go from number 1 to number 5, I don't need to be cycling through all of them, and at the same time I will be on my couch. So if I want to enjoy my Xbox after some work on my Windows computer or after watching TV, then I can do that. So at this moment we are controlling the Xbox, and right now if I want to go to number 1, for example, I can just press number 1 and I will go to my NVIDIA Shield TV, which is number 1 on this particular setup. And depending on the devices that we have and depending on the display, as we can see, changing from the Xbox to the NVIDIA Shield takes quite a low time, but there are some devices, if I go to number 3, for example, that take a little bit more. Now, this display is a display that takes a while. It's one of the slowest displays that we have, and at this moment, this particular device is sleeping once again, I believe. So if we press the home button, there we go, it did wake up, so I can control it. And if we go to number 5, which is the Xbox, is one of the devices that even with this display does seem to wake up faster than other devices. So this will be depending on our particular case, depending on our TV, on our display, and on the devices that we are using. But this is the workflow, and at this moment, if I want, I can just shut down just by pressing this power button here, and as we can see, it turns into red, which means that it's completely shut off. And if I press once again, it will turn on, and as we can see, it will remember the source that it was connected. So we left the Xbox connected, and once we got back, we had the Xbox. So it will not go back to number 1 or number 2 or whatever. It will remember the device that we had connected before we did turn it off. And that's it, simple as this. We connect 5 different devices up to 4K at 60 Hz. And after that, I can control it either with the button. If I'm on a desk, for example, this is faster to me. I just press one button, go to my Xbox, press one button, go to my PC or to any other device. But if I'm on a couch, then the remote control makes total sense because I can just press the button and go to number 2, number 3, number 1, wherever I decide to watch. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video about the 4K 60 Hz 5-port HDMI switch. If that was the case, don't forget the usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.